dealt with or revealed or the light shined upon it.
Right.
Okay, because Adams, Tennessee is a liberty town in Tennessee, and obviously, and there's not a lot of commerce there. There's not a lot of industry there. It has a very adorable little square. You would think for something as phenomenal and as wide reaching, there's 2 or 3 shows on right now about the Bell Witch, that they'd have Bell Witch Day. They'd have they would rebuild the old John Bell place and give tours. They would have shops on the square that would sell witch stuff. They don't.
And there's a good reason, because
They ain't stupid.
it's real.
I feel like there's and I cannot tell you what it is, but something is there, and we dealt with the a little tiny bit of it when these guys came in. I don't even know if they realized that they were carrying in this negative energy, but they certainly did, and we dealt with the aftermath. And I have not yet. I guess I probably should get hold of the producers and go, hey, guess what, guys? Guess what we did for 2 weeks after you left? We cleaned up the mess. But that is exactly why there's not Bell Witch Day, I think, in my estimation, because people up there, it makes them nervous. And I'm not going to the Bell Witch Cave.
Okay, so here's a question for you. That would indicate it was a very strong, whatever, curse, whatever.
Right.
So I'm going to ask you, you've been a witch a long, long time. There are many, many, many witches with less potential power than you have. There must be others with perhaps a lot more power. Would you think that would be true or not?
Sure.
Not?
Absolutely.
Yes?
Absolutely. But I also think that whatever happened with the John Bell thing, there's been a lot of energy put into it, and it's an ongoing.
Oh, yes.
People talk about it. We're talking about it. There's a TV show about it. People in Adams are scared of it. People, that is a rite of passage in the state of Tennessee, to drive up with a carload of other kids and go to the cave on the Bell property.
Huh.
It's a rite of passage. It's like drinking beer, having your first shot of Jack Daniels.
Yeah, but how can you be sure the passage won't be to the other side?
Exactly. I don't know that anybody's disappeared yet, but I don't know. I just feel like so much has been put into it over the last couple of 100 years that it is a real energy that is very negative and very nasty.
Why are curses so long-lasting as opposed to spells or hexes?
Because usually hexes and spells are for a specific purpose, like right now. And if you get mad at somebody and your boyfriend and he didn't do you right, and you want to put a hex on him and have him not ever be able to have sex again or whatever.
Oh.
See, that's really mean. But
it is.
They also, but also just normal wear and tear, things dissipate. If you put a big balloon around your house, sooner or later it would get holes in it from erosion and from the weather and whatever. So, the same way. And usually hexes are kind of a short thing. Right now, bam! I need to make your I don't know, left arm fall off, whatever. But curses are much more involved. They're much longer. They're much more horrifying. They're much more energy and usually hate and anger put into them. Because because spells, everything is in the whole universe. But they're
okay. Well, here's one way to look at it. If this were a long time ago and you were up on a 2x4 hoisted above a bunch of burning stuff, and you were about to be burned to death as a witch,
I would throw everything in me at them.
There you have it. There you have it. And
there
so that's some pretty powerful people out there clapping and having a good old time.
And so it should be. But I mean, there's legends of Irish curses that were put on Cromwell and the House of Orange that there's all that emotion, that almost the death throes, that if they took everything and they killed everything and they even killed the dog, and there's so much anger and emotion put into that. And so, words, why do you think that in all the books and all the movies and all the stories that the wizards had magic words? Because words are powerful. They didn't have magic words. It wasn't abracadabra. It is, I'm going to screw you up forever.
Yeah.
And it's powerful, and it is fueled and powered by raw emotion.
And maybe not just you, but your sons, your daughters, their sons, their daughters, and on and on.
I want them, everybody in your line, I want them all to have horribleness. Now, boy, that's not something I would care to participate in.
Well, as I mentioned, though, if the flames are licking at your ankles, what the hell?
Doesn't matter, right?
That's right.
Karma is already here. It's at the door.
That's right. I suppose that karma could be projected upon some future life, and some poor soul who would have no idea why he or she was being punished in this way. If you believe in reincarnation.
If you believe in reincarnation.
Do you?
Yes. I think it's the only thing that logically makes sense. I think that to be created and walk to this earth and all we get is a 4 score and 10, and that's it, is not logical. A logical being who set things in motion, as I believe there is, would not. It's just not logical. And you can't learn 70 years or 80 years. Or my mother's 98, so however many years you have, you can't learn all the things that you need to learn. You can't understand how, under all circumstances, that we treat people well, that racism is bad, that all those things. You can't have all the experiences. You can't learn everything you need to learn in 70 years or 80 years or even 98 years. Isn't that a waste to not come back?
Sure. You said that people have come to you to have a curse removed, and in most cases you don't think there's a curse upon them.
Right.
Have you found any cases where there was a curse upon them?
I do, besides Bell Witch, I do have somebody that I know who is absolutely convinced, and we go back to Ireland and we go back to Cromwell. And historically, looking up the documents, her family actually, and they were Irish, and they actually helped Cromwell, and they were cursed by the White Wood in the village as it burned. And I've never seen in my life anybody that has as bad luck as she does.
So that is somebody who has a curse. Have you attempted to assist her?
I have, but she's not cooperating with me. And then I have another friend who feels like she has one, again, a family, and she's taken steps to get rid of it. So, because, everything can be undone, except being dead, and then you come back anyway.
You're really convinced of that, huh?
Absolutely.
I really have toyed with the idea myself. It seems logical, and but there are problems with it, and one of them, of course, is the increasing population. We've gone from hundreds of millions to billions in a rather short period of time. So one has to wonder where, if you believe in such things, all the additional souls are coming from.
But don't you think that an omnipotent being can just make more, like Doritos?
Yeah.
If the Doritos company can just make more, I'm pretty sure that which is God can just make more.
Well, I guess, yes, you would imagine he could do anything. So
I would. Maybe not as tasty, but there you go.
All right. I've talked to a number of hypnotists who were very, very interesting, Tish. They took people back for various reasons. And then stumbled into prior lives.
Okay. I do that as well.
It's really chilling. I mean, you take somebody back, and then you take them back, I guess, just a little too far, and suddenly they're talking about what seems to be another life. And actually, in some cases, Tish, They actually give details of that
right?
prior life that can be verified.
Yes,
In this life, in now.
right.
So,
Because we have the internet.
what we do now, yes, we do now.
And we can look stuff up.
That's right. So that is somewhat convincing to me. That
It's convincing to me because, and you'll hear people, and I've heard people say, oh, doing regressions is just, stupid because everybody everybody says they're famous. Everybody is, Anne Boleyn. Everybody is whoever.
yeah.
Ivan the Terrible. And I have found that to not be true. And I've done, in 24 years, hundreds of regressions. I mean, honest to goodness, hundreds. Never have I done one that the person was famous. Ain't that a kick in the head?
Well, actually, it leads me to another question. I had no idea that you dabbled that much in hypnosis and particularly regression. So have you gone back intentionally looking for prior lives?
Yes.
General
Wow.
quarters.
How frequently do you have success doing that kind of regression?
With like when clients come to me,
Yes.
I have only ever failed twice.
Holy smokes.
It's not a bad track record.
Or witchcraft smoke, whatever.
There you go, poof.
That's incredible.
It's I love it. I love it. I love the vicariously living through other people, and for me, it's not just we're not just going on a tourist trip, okay? I send them back to the lifetime that they most need to see, that has the most information for them, that allows them to fix some things that are going on in the here and now lifetime.
Again, reference to karma?
Reference to karma or reference to patterns that you didn't know were there.
Wow.
And so to send them back into, and then to watch them when they come out and go, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And so one of my absolute favorites was a girl, and I sent her back to the lifetime she needed to see. And so she's describing to me that, oh, she's a little girl and she's skipping down the road and her hair's in pigtails and she has on Sunday clothes and her parents are walking behind her, probably in the 20s maybe.
Yes.
And they're on their way to church. It's a beautiful sunny day, and a car comes up from behind them and scoots around, or not scoots around, but swerves around the parents and hit the child and kill the child.
Oh, my.
And so I said to her, because it's very helpful to see how you die, to help you process what's going on. And she was saying, oh, it really hurt. I really hurt. And I said, I want you to leave your body, and I want you to walk over to the car, because the man then hit a fence pole after he was drunk from the night before. It's early Sunday morning, still drunk. And he hit the fence pole, and I said, I want you to walk over and look at him. And she said, oh, I think he's dead too. I said, okay. And I want you to understand, to identify, if you, in the here and now lifetime, know this man, and we can talk about it when you come back. And she said, oh, no, I know him. I know this man.
Lord.
And she said, when she got done, and I brought her out of trance, and she said she was in foster care, and she was 10 years old before she was adopted.
Right.
The family into which she was adopted, the grandfather was the man. And I get chills talking about it. And she said, he made me everything I am. He taught me everything I know. He waited for me. And I mean, I was right here. I got chills running up and down my arms right now, just recanting that story. And
I can imagine. Yes,
amazing.
I really can imagine. All right, so big question for you. This is an area of intense interest to me, this regression into prior lives. So is it possible that a person under hypnosis, under such conditions, especially seeking you out and wanting this, has a preconception of what their prior life was? And I guess I'm saying, is there any way to be sure that when they're under
So I'm going to get really spooky now because I'm seeing what they're telling. I'm seeing it. I've only had one person lie to me. I knew she was lying. I've only ever had two people that I couldn't get under, but psyche and spirit knows when you're in trance, and it's a very light trance, and I always say you're in charge of it, you're in control, you can wake up at any time, blah, blah. Spirit knows, and so if I am saying to you, and you're under, you're going to the lifetime that has the most meaning, that has the most bearing, the lifetime that you need to see, the lifetime where there are answers, the lifetime where you will find out what it is that you need to know to make improvements in your here and now lifetime. You're going to go there. I believe you're going to go there. And I've seen people be really surprised at who they were, where they lived. The only person that I can ever remember doing that was quasi-famous, and you had to know history, because he was the British commander, the English commander on Stirling Bridge, who always, and he did reenactment, he always dressed as a Scotsman. So he was not pleased.
Yeah, look, I don't know famous. I think that's all a bunch of bull anyway, for the most part. You know, because so many, when they go back, are, yes, as you point out, always somebody famous.
Right.
Nonsense.
Nonsense is absolutely nonsense. But always something to gain, I feel. There's always something to gain. It's not just for fun and games. It's not just a tourist trip. There's purpose in it, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do.
What caught me about it originally was that some physicians that I talked to and interviewed did it by mistake.
Oh my!
You know, actually took somebody back by mistake. Just simply went too far, and then began to get this information. And frankly, it scared the hell out of them.
I bet it did.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, how do we get them back?
But then they moved from that into investigation of the. You couldn't take somebody into. This is really a wild question. A future life.
I have never done it. I understand you do it. I have not ever done it, and I'm not sure how to do it. So there's your honest answer. I don't know.
Okay, well, that's good.
Can I put a codicil here, or can I put a warning label on this? I'm trained, and I went to school, and I have a nice piece of paper in a frame that says I am a certified hypnotherapist. Okay. As I started to get interested in this 20 years ago, I listened to a tape that a fella brought me where there was a bunch of people, and they were just playing around, and they knew just enough to be dangerous. And they put him under with no guidelines. When I put you under, you're safe. You can anytime. Nothing can hurt you. You're only observing it. It's like looking at a movie, so on, so on, so on. He had none of those going in. He went into a lifetime where a lot of people got killed because he was having sex in the barn with somebody and wasn't at his post watching.
Oh.
I listened to 45 minutes of him sobbing and people saying, "You need to come back. You need to come back. You need to come back. You need to come." It made the hair on my head stand up. And it made me so angry I wanted to slap all those people. And so there must be safeguards, because you are in there and you're messing around in their brain. There has to be safeguards going in. So I just wanted to throw that out.
But okay, isn't the whole goal to have them work this out?
But he didn't, and he was stuck, and they couldn't get him back.
Well, no, I get that. He was stuck. And he was awful, and a bunch of people died as a result.
Right.
But still, didn't he have to live that through?
Yes, I agree. There was he was living it.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't just observing it. He wasn't just looking at it like it was a movie. He hadn't been told nothing there could hurt him. He was standing there in about the 3rd century and living it. And so that's the difference. That's not how I would have handled it. But I also would have got him back. I've never had one I couldn't get back.
I'm happy to hear that. I always worry about that possibility.